This is single elimination bracket, best 2 of 3. Today we're starting off with game 1 between SCOTTY6 and Kishmo. Two pretty well-renowned runners at this point. They have pretty respectable times in all their speedrun categories. They've done very well in the regular season, having very strong records, so should be an exciting match today. And right off the bat, it looks like both the runners do have moonwalk enabled, which will allow them to do some moonfalls, especially paying off in that large room that we just saw, the climb. That saves about 4 seconds being able to use the moonfall glitch. So both of them are going to get to our first item at just about the same time, and it is Vanilla Morph Ball. And now they're going to head over to the right here. They'll have 2 minor item locations to check. This vanilla missile spot here, which is a power bomb pack. That is always nice to see early in these seeds. So potentially they may not have too much of a hunt for any minor items unless perhaps the first super pack is well hidden. And a vanilla E-Tank, the Blue Brinstar E-Tank, and a regular missile pack. So, no supers yet. They will be able to open the pink doors with those missiles. They also can go up to Billy Mays if they really wanted to with these power bombs, but it looks like both the runners are actually going to be skipping that. There's potential that the first super pack could be up there, although it seems to be pretty rare based on what we've seen throughout the season. But both of them are at least going to check this item to the left of Morph, which is just another missile pack. It looks like neither of them want to keep going over into Green Hills from here, which is probably a decent idea since they don't have supers. It's get a little hairy trying to take out those side hoppers without supers. And it looks like Kishmo actually did not get that E-Tank. I wasn't really watching him, but he may have missed the D-Boost a couple times and then just decided to go without it. Not a big deal. There'll be a lot of E-Tanks throughout the seed, most likely, so I'm sure they'll find plenty. But there's a second power bomb pack below Old Mother Brain. It's pretty huge finding power bombs early on like this. It reduces the chances of soft locking a lot in a lot of places that have bomb blocks, and especially if you go to wreck ship early, where you kind of need to use the bombs to bomb yourself up into some of the morph tunnels since you don't have regular bombs or spring ball. Also getting the extra power bomb pack allows them to fully check Gauntlet and be able to make it back. And the first super pack could be at the end of Gauntlet as well, so we might see them go and check that later on. But first, they're going to check BT, and wow, we have vanilla bombs at BT, and because they have bombs now, that means they are going to be forced to actually do this fight. So not something we get to see all the time in randomizers. This fight does not actually trigger unless you have bombs in your inventory, so Scotty not having too much trouble, able to farm some missiles off and get a pretty quick fight. Kishmo was doing just a lot of regular shots, which is a bit slower, so Scotty will pull ahead a little bit. And that's what I'm talking about right here. Scotty is heading right over to the landing site area. Looks like he's going to take a save before he tries this, since it is a pretty dangerous area with all the acid. And Kishmo finding the space jump at Terminator That is a pretty nice item to have early on. It's going to give them a lot of verticality, essentially allowing them to fly in most places, as long as there's not any water or acid and lava, until they get suits at least. But hopefully Scotty does not forget this item. Sometimes we've seen runners who go through Terminator. They get let out in the room that Kishmo's in right now, and they forget to go back to the right and check what Terminator is. And that would be not good news for Scotty if he skipped out on Space Jump this early. What do we have at Gauntlet? Just an E-Tank. So no major that's going to pay off. I believe Kishmo actually went and checked 2 minor items at the end of Gauntlet. I don't think they were supers. And looks like it doesn't matter too much because they did find a super pack right at the early super spot. So no trolley first minor item locations today. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Hunt for the major items. And speaking of major items, there's Ice Beam at the Brinstar Reserve. That is another really nice item to find early. They are not going to have to worry about the Metroids later at the end of the game. Without ice, they would want at least 15 power bombs to be able to do it comfortably without a refill. This also gives them access to Batoon easily by doing the Metroid clip to get into that area. And they can also do Zeb Skip now, so they don't have to worry about doing a Zeb Spark or getting enough ammo to destroy the Zebs. So some pretty nice finds early on. And Scotty does remember to go over to Terminator Tank, so he gets his space jump as well. So because of that gauntlet check, he's going to be a little bit behind now, although we could see Kishmo perhaps go and check gauntlet later if it's convenient for him to do so. And holy moly, there is Various Suit. That is a huge item. That is going to give our runners full heat protection in all the Norfair areas. Also, with the way the suits are programmed in the randomizer, it's going to give them full environmental damage protection. So any spikes or like other things in the environment, like sparks, you get the full damage protection with Various Suit. So this may, well, they do have space jump, so early X-ray is not an issue, but it can definitely help you be a little more confident and perhaps a little bit riskier in some of the checks you want to do, knowing you have that damage protection. And Kishmo finds a third power bomb pack. Now, even though they have ice already, it's not a bad idea to usually get around 10 or 15. Just because without bombs, there is potential for soft locking in a few areas. Oh, they do have bombs though. Well, you know, it's a nice refill either way. Alright, and Kishmo, he skipped over the Wavegate area at first, and I don't blame him because the Various Suit's not going to give him protection from enemies, and the big hopper in this room does a whopping 80 damage. So before he refilled, he would have died if he got hit by that giant hopper. But he refilled, so now he's coming back. And without high jump boot, has a little bit more tricky of a setup to get this, but gets it pretty fast. And he just gets an E-Tank. So far, the runners have been pretty thorough of the areas they're checking. One thing they cannot check while they're here is Waterway. Without Speed Booster, they do not have a way to break the speed blocks down there and gain access to that major item. So that could potentially hold something important, and we could see them come back here later if they don't find what they need. Scotty also doing a nice job with that gate glitch in order to reach this E-tank. And Kishmo is going to be coming up on an important decision, whether he wants to go up Red Tower into the wrecked ship area, or if he wants to go down towards Kraid. And doing the mock ball suggests to me he's going to go down. And with that space jump, doing this X-ray check is going to be pretty safe. So I would expect both of them to do this when they run by this area. This is also a nice place to refill power bombs too with those fire fleas. They're pretty much a 100% drop rate for power bombs. And the second, I believe, reserve tank at X-ray. I think the first one was at charge. So nothing good at X-ray. I think one reserve is usually plenty. Any more than that can be a little excessive sometimes, but either way, Kishmo decides not to grab it. I assume he's gonna proceed going down, but he might go up too. Some people like to do X-ray before they go up. But he is gonna go down. Scotty also going down, at least for now, to check X-ray. And what do we have at Spacer? Just an E-tank. Which is really not bad news for Kishmo since he did skip that one early on. I'm sure he's not complaining to see that. Yeah, that's it's not usually the moat that's tricky, but a lot of things without high jump can be tricky. Scotty noping out of that E-tank. So one thing to note, and as we saw Kishmo do, it's likely we're going to see the runners sort of go out of their way a little bit, maybe, to check some of these minor item locations. Without having charge yet, if it's in a really inconvenient spot, a lot of times it's in the runner's best interest to just skip charge entirely and get enough ammo to finish off all the bosses. The bare minimum amount of ammo to finish without charge is 36 missiles and 60 supers, and you can substitute missiles and supers with each other. 3 missiles is the equivalent of 1 super. And the way the ammo is divided in these randomizers, it is actually pretty feasible to skip charge a lot of the time. Now coming into Kraid, Kishmo not getting the quick kill, so this is going to give Scotty an opportunity to catch up here. Kishmo does not have any more supers, but he does finish off Kraid now, the rest of his missiles. And just like that, Scotty getting the quick kill, they are pretty much in sync right now. Yeah. Wow, and Plasma Beam. So that is a really nice beam to have, even without Charge Beam. Plasma is still going to one-shot a lot of the enemies, although with Ice on it's going to freeze them before we can kill them. It also has piercing properties, which means it can actually go through enemies and in some cases actually hit them multiple times. So everyone loves finding Plasma Beam. And man, they are really synced up right now. Alright, we got another major item here at Kraid's E-Tank, which is also just an E-Tank. Scotty actually going to skip over this one while Kishmo grabs it, so that'll give Scotty the lead. The nice thing right now is they already have Varia, so they don't have to worry about taking heat damage in Norfair at all. So normally you'd see people sort of always take E-Tanks at the beginning just so they can make these hell runs easier if they decide to go this way, but that's not really an issue for these two. And it looks like Kishmo is going to check ice first, while Scotty is going to go check high jump boots. And Scotty just getting an E-Tank. We'll see if Kishmo has a bit more luck here. And reserve tank number 3. Only one more to go. Now, should probably talk about what these guys want to do next. Typically, when you go down Red Tower and head over to Kraid and then subsequently Norfair, the goal is to make it to Lower Norfair and be able to take down Ridley and then sort of work your way back up to kind of get the most efficient routing. And with their current gear, assuming they get the ammo for it, they could get to Lower Norfair if they do a high jumpless lava dive. Although this is a difficult trick, it is not in the logic. But that aside, again, assuming they get ammo, they could take out Ridley. So if these guys know how to do the high jumpless lava dive, that is something we could see. But we do have Bubble Mountain and Crocomire left still, so I would imagine they're at least going to check some of that before maybe they commit to a play like that. Yeah, it looks like both of them are going to head over to Bubble Mountain now. So Bubble Mountain has 3 major items pretty much in the 3 doors in this room. There's also a fair bit of minor items along the way, so it's very convenient if you're kind of hovering on that amount it takes to kill Ridley. Scotty's already at 20 and 20, so he's actually fairly close already, but Kishmo actually has 10 less supers, which might make the Ridley fight a bit tight if it's possible for him to go down there. But no love at the Norfair Reserve. We just see another E-Tank. Our runners are pretty confident that they don't need it. And Vanilla Speed Booster. Another fun thing, similar to the bombs at BT, the lava in this room actually doesn't rise unless you have Speed Booster in your inventory. So after picking it up there, they'll have to run back with the rising tide like normal. But Speed Booster is not going to do much for their logical requirements into Lower Norfair. It's going to definitely speed up their movement a bit. And it's also going to give them access to Waterway, like I mentioned earlier. That spot in Big Pink that they had to miss, or they had to skip by earlier. Also, they can fully clear a wrecked ship now, being able to break the speed blocks that block you off from the wrecked ship reserve. And just an E-Tank at wave, so Bubble Mountain having speed, which is very nice, but not really the thing they were looking for right now. So now they have some decisions to make. If they are comfortable with the high jumpless lava dive, and they think that they'll have enough ammo for Ridley, they can go down there. If they want to go check Croc, they could see if maybe he has a major item that will help them get into Lower Norfair. Or they could just ditch Norfair entirely and head up to Wreck Ship. And possibly check Waterway too, along the way now with that speed booster. And it looks like Scotty is making the play to head to Lower Norfair. So this is going to be pretty exciting. We'll get to see a pretty complex trick here. Now he's at 20 missiles, 20 supers, and 10 power bombs. I don't think he has enough, but he's very close to having enough ammo. Maybe he's backing out now. Or he could be saving. I think he's saving. Yeah, this is a pretty difficult trick. He does not have enough ammo to Crystal Flash, since he only has 10 power bombs, so probably just doesn't want to risk a death without a save. I think he's still gonna go for it. Yeah. Also, Scotty's gonna want to refill up on supers here. He doesn't want to fight GT, so if he wants to check the screw attack item, he's gonna have to get that green gate glitch. And usually with about 10 or so attempts, most runners are able to get it successfully. So he feels comfortable with 13. And it looks like Kishmo is actually going to head over to Croc. He's keeping the faith. So this could be pretty big. If there's something really important behind Croc, especially something helpful for Lower Norfair like high jump boots or gravity, that's going to give Kishmo quite an edge, and it'll make his Lower Norfair just a lot smoother in general. But here we go. Scotty is going to be going for this high jumpless lava dive. What's really tricky about it is, in order to get enough height to reach the top Namahe and be able to wall jump up there, you need to take damage from one of the Namahe flames. Not only that, you need to turn around as you're getting hit by it in order to get an uninterruptible animation. And while you have those iframes, you need to wall jump up the spikes on the left side of the room. And only with doing that, you'll be able to get enough height in order to get to the top. So you'll see Scotty managing to K-go through that Namahe shot and did some wall jumps up the spikes, and he nails it. Nice job, Scotty. So again, that is a trick that is out of logic. It is never required to finish one of these seeds, but seeing as we're in the top 16 now, a lot of these runners are pretty comfortable with that strategy, and I'm sure we'll see it quite a few more times before the end of these playoffs. And Kishmo, he doesn't have a lot of ammo. Oh, wow, 2 super drops. That's pretty lucky, actually. He should be okay now. Oh god, Kishmo. Please. This fight is kind of a pain without much ammo. You really need Croc to behave and give you some drops. But Kishmo gets him down, and Spring Ball is hidden behind Croc, which is my favorite item. It's very, very nice for movement, especially with that space jump. It can help you conserve your momentum a lot. There's also a few sort of minor glitch applications that become especially handy doing Suitless Meridia. But not necessarily something that could make it worth it yet, as far as proceeding through Lower Norfair. But Scotty, he managed to get the Green Gate glitch first try and found Grapple Beam, actually. So not something he was looking for, but Suitless Meridia could potentially happen, so finding Grapple Beam could be pretty important. Oh, and Scotty fell in the lava. Oh. Unfortunately, Scotty getting caught up in the acid there. He does take a death. And he did not save after getting that high jumpless lava dive. Oh, and Kishmo finding the gravity suit at the grapple location. That is huge. This is what I was talking about. So now that Kishmo has the gravity suit, he has very easy access in the Lower Norfair. Just needs to space jump in that lava pit room in order to get up there and enter Lower Norfair. So I'm gonna assume that's where he'll go next. His ammo is pretty tight right now. He's really gonna hope to like find some supers along the way, and he'll probably need to use like everything he has. So yeah, Kishmo is in a really good position right now, and it looks like Scotty is actually not gonna go back into Lower Norfair. He's gonna head up the elevator and presumably direct ship. So yeah, this is bad news for Scotty that he's skipping over Croc. Depending on what he finds in Rex ship, he may not even go to Croc at all. If he finds high jump, for instance, and knowing that grapple is down at screw attack, he might be tempted to just do a Suitless Meridia, thinking it's possibly required in the seed. But it looks like he's actually going to head over to Waterway first and check out what that item is. Potentially a huge item there could be Charge Beam. Given the way that Kishmo's routing is going, he might not come back to this area, so that could be pretty huge if Scotty finds Charge here and doesn't have to worry about picking up extra ammo packs for the rest of the run. Yeah, if Kishmo... I think... Oh my goodness, that's high jump boots, wow. That's also a really huge item for Scotty. Although, again, it might point him in the Suitless Meridia direction, which we know is not required, but... either way, having Speed Booster without high jump can really slow down a lot of people. It really stunts your jump height and just makes general movement a lot more difficult. So Scotty having high jump and speed now, that's gonna just sort of save time for him and in a lot of areas, just in little ways. So that could help him get a little bit of an edge on Kishmo. Oh yeah, but what I was gonna say is Kishmo, I think with his ammo right now, if all of his power bombs double hit and he goes into Ridley with full ammo and hits everything, I think that's enough to kill Ridley. But you know, it would be extremely tight having to, you know, to have everything hit and double hit all the power bombs. So hopefully he finds some super packs on the way. I would think he's gonna check Mickey Mouse because of the way his ammo is right now. Oh boy, and Scotty is actually going back down to Norfair now with those high jump boots. If he skips over Croc, he might not pick up the gravity suit because with that grapple beam, he's gonna have all the gear that would be required for Sueless Viridia by the logic. And it looks like Kishmo finding missiles at Mickey Mouse. He would have preferred supers, but that will give him a bit more leeway in the Ridley fight if he doesn't find any other ammo on the way. He does have the power bomb to Shame to check, so that'll be at least one pretty convenient spot. All the rest of them are sort of deeper in the Lower Norfair escape, and he may feel like he shouldn't go that way. But he is going to check Fire Flea first. This is a major item location, so it could potentially be charge, and it's just an E-Tank. Charge would have been extremely convenient for Kishmo here. But he is going to have to rely on that ammo now. And he is going to actually go a little bit deeper in the Lower Norfair escape and check some of these miners. There are 3 of them that you have access to. The first one being right here. And it is a super pack, so I'm pretty sure he's going to get that, especially since he has Spring Ball. It'll be pretty easy maze to traverse. The second one is going to be right here in front of the Spring Ball maze. And Power Bomb, not what he wanted to see. It could help, but yeah, he's gonna take it anyways. If a Power Bomb double hits Ridley, it does 400 damage, and supers do 600 damage. So if you can double hit them, Power Bombs actually are pretty significant as far as ammo considerations for Ridley. Yeah, Scotty, he was down in Lower Norfair earlier, but he actually did the high jumpless lava dive, but he died in Amphitheater with his save being back in Bubble Mountain, and he decided to go check Waterway, which ended up being high jump boots. So now he is back this time with high jump. So yeah, Kish gained a lot of time on him there. And around the time that he died, Kishmo was checking Croc and it had Spring Ball and Gravity, so pretty huge play for Kishmo. And unfortunately just finds the missiles, not super missiles. That power bomb's a shame. But with this ammo, as long as he goes in fully strapped up, he shouldn't have too much of an issue as long as he doesn't really miss any super missiles. One thing to note, Scotty skipped over the grapple beam this time, so I guess he's not banking on Suitless Meridia then, unless he's comfortable doing it without grapple, which is not easy, and not really, well, yeah, it's just not really easy. I'll leave it at that. And it looks like Scotty, I don't think he's comfortable with his ammo right now, so he's gonna do what Kishmo did and go and check out the minor items that are a bit deeper in the escape. Meanwhile, Kish is farming up for the Ridley fight, going in there with full ammo. 20 supers is going to do about 2/3 of Ridley's health. With the 40 missiles, that's going to be he would need about 4 or 5 more supers worth after that if he hits them all. So, assuming a lot of these power bombs double hit, he should be okay. Although it doesn't look like a lot of them are. That one definitely did. Alright, Scotty's at 25 now, so he should be pretty comfortable. And assuming he picks up that missile, that power bomb's a shame. He'll have just enough with his missiles and super missiles, and not have to resort to power bombs like we see Kishmo doing. Alright, Kishmo's got to be really careful not to miss these supers. They are the most important ammo resource for Ridley, since they do the most damage. Ooh, it looks like he thought Ridley was dead there. I'm pretty sure he still needs a couple supers. Okay, Ridley should be dead for Kish. Yep, that is the death animation. So Kishmo is out of there. Nicely done managing his ammo well enough to get through that fight. And now we get to see what's behind Ridley. Just an E-tank. Kishmo doesn't really care for it. He's got gravity. He's got full damage protection. Pretty good on health already, and has that plasma beam, so getting out of lower Norfair is not going to be tricky. Scotty might pick it up since he does not have that gravity suit. Alright, Scotty had to farm quite a bit on these bugs. He still needs a few more supers. Oh, there's 2. But with Kishmo already out of Ridley now, and Scotty about to enter, Kishmo does have a considerable lead at this point. Scotty really needs to go to Croc and get that gravity suit in order to make his Meridia fast. So really I think what's going to be the difference here on who ends up pulling ahead is going to be that charge location. And depending on if someone hunts for it and finds it early on versus someone who maybe decides to forego it and just look for the ammo, that could make a pretty big difference in what happens here. But again, at this moment, Kishmo does have quite a big lead due to Scotty's death and also finding that gravity suit earlier on in Croc. Kishmo getting hit a little bit for those key hunters, but luckily he had quite a bit of reserve energy to spare. Oh, and Scotty, he's down to his last 40 energy. Oh no, and Scotty takes a death. That powerbomb made Ridley dive down at him. Oh man. And his last save is before he picked up his high jump boots, I believe. That looked like the same save. Maybe not. Maybe he saved again. Yeah, it looks like it was before high jump. See, it hasn't been through here yet. Well, it looks like Scotty is gonna go to Croc now. So that's good news for him, but yeah, it's gonna be tough to come back from this. Kishmo really needs to make a lot of errors and die, really, to lose a lot of time. Yeah, there's definitely potential for Kishmo to die somewhere. Dragon can always have nasty chain damage. There can be a death at Mother Brain or just a soft lock because of ammo or stand up or something like that. But yeah, if Kishmo plays this safe and doesn't risk dying, he's in a very good position right now. Alright. Scotty's finished up with Croc. He's got Spring Ball. He will shortly get his gravity suit and then presumably head back into Lower Norfair now. Kishmo heading over to Bachwu now, having speed booster, and gravity is able to get through those speed blocks pretty easily. And now for Batoon, because he does not have charge, he is going to be completely dependent on his missiles and super missiles. He came in, I think, like 27 and 16, and Batoon takes 10 supers, so not too much of a risk of a soft lock, but either way, manages to get through it okay. And now we'll get to see the item behind Batoon. It looked like X-Ray, I want to say. It's hard to tell, but I think it was X-Ray. And he's going to go back and pick it up, which is not a bad idea because... oh, well, he doesn't have charge, actually, so... Never mind. If he did have charge, though, he would be able to... I didn't... Huh. Maybe he just wanted the drops for some reason. Maybe he was concerned about his health. But if he had charge and picked up X-Ray, he could microwave Dragon, which is a very safe way to do that fight. But with his equipment now, his best way is going to be Shine Sparking. Which is a little tricky without high jump boots, but he does have Space Jump to sort of counteract that. At 344 energy, it's not low energy, but it's not a lot either. So if he gets hit a couple times, or just gets really nasty chain damage, there's potential to lose a lot of energy there. But he also has Grapple Beam, and he has it equipped. So he could be going for that grapple kill as well, which is pretty safe. Yeah, he's gonna set up, going for that quick grapple. Doesn't quite get it. It looks like he's gonna jump out of Dragon's grab there and go for it again. Now going for on the right side. I think he grabbed it a little too early. Dragon couldn't get a grip on him. Alright, Kish gonna go for that grapple kill one more time. Oh, didn't quite get it. His health is actually getting kinda low. Dragon is starting to get pretty red. If he can manage to get the grapple again, he might even be okay with his health to do that. It really doesn't consume a lot of energy to do that if you have all the suits. And normally, us speedrunners are used to doing this, using the Shine Sparks. Every now and then in Randomizer, you kind of get a fight like this, where you get to fight them with ammo. Similar to missing the crate quick kill. No one really practices that, but sometimes you just gotta deal with it. Oh, Dragon is hitting them. Alright, Scotty is at 20 and 30 now. So he just needs to use all 30 super missiles on Ridley, and that'll be a really fast fight. Of course, he'll have the missiles and power bombs. If he misses some of his supers, he'll be in a little bit better position. Also, having the gravity suit, I'm guessing his fight will be a little less scary. And Kishmo gets Dragon down now. And he's gonna go for that spike suit. It's a little hard with Spring Ball. Doesn't get it though, unfortunately. So he'll just have to space jump across Coliseum. And there it is, everyone. Reserve tank number 4. We did it. But Kishmo says no thank you. He's gonna keep going here. So he's at 40 missiles, 20 supers. Not looking great for a chargeless run. All he has left to do is wreck ship. So at this point, he might be just committing to charge. Unless maybe he goes out of his way here a little bit to start looking for some ammo packs. But maybe they might not feel like that's a good idea based on the amount of supers they found so far. They were digging pretty hard for Ridley ammo, and they didn't seem to get very lucky in that department, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're both just going to commit to charge. Yeah, Kishmo's not even going to check Aqueduct Miners, he's just going to check the Major here at the Meridia Reserve. So I would think he's just going to be hunting for charge now. He has not checked Plasma yet. Oh, there's charge right there. He's not going to check it either. That is very convenient. So with that is going to put Kishmo into go mode. He needs to remember to go fight Fantoon. Common mistake to forget him. Happens to everyone. And then from there he can just head over to Torian and finish off the game. So really, for Scotty at this point, it's going to take Kishmo taking a death on a boss somewhere without having saved. So I think someone mentioned he actually hasn't saved yet. In order for Scotty to catch up, since after Ridley, he's still going to have to go into Meridia and either find that charge beam or pick up another like 40 supers. Yeah, we have not seen anything in Wreck Ship. There's also the 2 Meridia items, Plasma and Shack Tool, those out of the way ones that we didn't get to see since Kish found charge so fast. So I'd reckon some of those got to be in Wreck Ship, but we probably won't see either of these runners go and check them unless Scotty somehow passes up charge beam. Alright, Scotty with a nice speedball to get through Wasteland there. And Kishmo having Space Jump is going to make traversing the moat area, West Ocean, pretty easy. So Kishmo will start Phantoon in just a second. With Charge Beam, he can fire charge shots if he wants. But probably what we'll see him do is do the Doppler strategies with the missiles. That's normally the go-to in Rando, since your equipment can be pretty variable. You'll usually always have missiles. Usually, you'll always have missiles. Anyways, he shouldn't have much trouble with that. He is a new route runner, I believe, so he should be pretty familiar with these strategies. Scotty is making good use of that plasma beam, using it to take out these key hunters. They do a whopping 50 damage, even with the gravity suit on, so they are not an enemy you want to mess with. And it looks like Phantoon probably needs one more round for Kishmo, and it'll be good. I think that'd be a 3-round. Oh, he doesn't have a super though, but he uses that charged ice plasma shot to finish him off. That was a really heads-up play to do that. He was lacking the super. Well, he probably could have used just another Doppler, but that is quite a bit safer just doing a charge shot. A lot less prone to error. Alright, Scotty's broken the tube and is going into Meridia. He'll be going through the same stuff Kishmo did. Well, Kishmo now done with all the bosses. Just needs to head over to Torian. I don't think he'll refill. His ammo is really not that low with the 40 regular missiles. So he'll probably, yeah, he's just gonna keep going. The bare minimum ammo you need to have in order to do Mother Brain 1 without taking a refill is 15 missiles and 10 super missiles. So as long as he gets some equivalent of that, he'll be okay. Which he probably has right now, actually. The way the amount of regular missiles he has. Although you would prefer to have at least some super missiles to sort of speed up that fight. Yes, they do have Game 2 scheduled. Oh, Scotty went for the spark there, but it's low on energy. They do have Game 2 scheduled after this one. So I'm assuming they'll be ready to go once they finish up. We won't have too long a break. It looks like they just have the 2 though right now, so if they do need a 3rd game, they'll have to schedule that on a later day. But we do have a lot of other matches coming up this week, so we'll get some more randomizer action regardless. Alright. Kish looking really good on ammo. 40 and 9. That is way more than he needs. Scotty is in the Batwoon. His ammo... He has plenty of ammo, but it is a bit lower than what Kishmo had. It looks like he landed all the supers. Holy crap, he got a lot of supers from Batwoon. Batwoon is usually pretty stingy when it comes to super drops. That was pretty good. And Scotty is going to pick up that X-ray. No charge beam, so won't be able to microwave Dragon, unfortunately. And Kishmo, without high jump boots, that baby skip is a big pain, especially with speed booster on. Getting that stunted jump height. So he'll have to take that energy refill over to the left here, but not too big of a deal. We might see Scotty actually go for the Shine Sparks. That looks like what he's setting up for. So again, without high jump boots, it's kind of dumb doing this, because you don't get the same jump height and you can't really get up to Dragon's hitbox where you'd like to be. But with Space Jump, that does help out considerably in getting you high enough. It looks like it's going pretty well for Scotty, so he should have a much faster fight than Kishmo did. Yep. Finishes it off and gets a blue suit. And going for that spike suit too. Again, with Spring Ball, it's a bit more tricky. Doesn't get it, but he'll check this reserve tank here, and then we'll see if he checks Sandpit like Kishmo did. If he's committed for charge, that would be the natural first check. So, we'll see. Meanwhile, Kishmo, now in his Mother Brain 2 fight, with charge, ice, plasma, that's going to be 30 charge shots total to take her down. Already in that catch-up phase, so should just need a few more shots now. And that is the trigger right there. Mother Brain 2 is done. Kishmo damaged himself down to 3 energy tanks in order for this next cutscene to trigger faster. And barring some major catastrophe in the escape, Kishmo will be the first one to finish. I guess Mother Brain 3 fight could be catastrophic too. I won't name any names, but there have been some runners that have died to Mother Brain 3. Very experienced runners. Oh, and Scotty did not check Sandpit, so It'll be interesting to see what he does about that. He needs, like I said earlier, like 40 more supers pretty much, or the equivalent of that missiles. So if we see him checking all the majors in wreck ship, then that's a good sign that he's on the hunt, and unfortunately he'll have to go back down to Meridia to find it. Kishmo is on Mother Brain 3. Looks like not having a problem there. She looks about dead. Yep, there she is. Now he's just one escape sequence away from taking game 1 of this match. And again, these are going to be best of 3. So the runner that can take that best 2 out of 3 is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals of our Randomizer League. Kishmo showing off well that speed booster and no high jump is not very fun. These rooms really suck without high jump. Alright, Scotty. Yep, good to go. Antoon was looking pretty dead. Alright, Kish. Now into the ship. He is done in SRL. The time of 107.23. Good game to Kishmo. A very nice victory. And with that, Scotty has forfeited from the race. So, like I said, these guys do have their next match scheduled for 8 minutes ago, so I'm sure they're going to be ready to go here soon. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed watching these two put on a nice race for us, make sure you drop these guys a follow. I think Kishmo has a different Twitch handle, but they'll show up there in chat. Yeah, SCOTTY6 and Kishmo. Like I said, both of them pretty accomplished in Randomizer, but also speedrunning too. They have pretty respectable times in the categories they run, so they put out a lot of good Super Metroid content. So make sure you drop them a follow. Also, shoutouts to our tracker, Zibirion, who is helping us keep track of everything. It is very much appreciated. I think he'll be joining us for game 2 as well. Make sure you give that guy a follow too. Kishmo says he's gonna restart his computer. he was having a little bit issue with lag on his end, so he's gonna hopefully resolve that for the next race. Fortunately, he had to deal with that. Meantime, looks like Scotty's playing some weird Super Metroid hack. I don't think I've seen this one. So while we got some time to kill, let's look over the rest of the schedule here. So we're gonna be starting game 2 between Kishmo and Scotty here shortly. We have a couple more races tonight. At 6 p.m. we are gonna have game 2 between Aussie and Lenofist. They did have game 1 yesterday. Aussie did take game 1, so if Aussie can win this one, he'll be moving on to the quarterfinals. They do have game 3 scheduled at 8 p.m. Eastern afterwards, so if necessary, we'll get to see that. But regardless, at 8 p.m. we are going to have game 2 between Rumblemints and Rasu. Rumblemints taking game 1 as well yesterday. So that's what we got for today, and we'll have a lot more top 16 matchups coming in throughout the week. So if you haven't already, make sure you get up, stretch a little bit, maybe take a bathroom break, refill your drinks, your coffee, your water, depending on what time it is. One of those might be your beverage. But I'll let these guys get ready here for a minute, and then we'll get started shortly. Alright, welcome back everybody. We are just about to get started here with Game 2 between SCOTTY6 and Kishmo. Once again, this is Super Metroid Item Randomizer League Season 1. We are now in the playoffs. This is a top 16 matchup. Whoever wins this set will move on to the quarterfinals. Kishmo, having just won Game 1 of this, if he can manage to win Game 2 right here, he'll be moving on, and Scotty will be out of the league. So pretty important for Scotty here to pick up a win so they can have a Game 3. But we will see what happens. So again, both these guys have their moonwalk on. They're able to do the moonfall down the climb there, and we will get a look at our first item here shortly. So our first item at Morph Ball is Plasma Beam, which is arguably the best beam. It definitely gives you the best damage output. Also allows you to pierce enemies, which can let you hit multiple enemies, as well as even double hit a lot of them in certain circumstances. So that's definitely a nice item to see early on. It'll make a lot of these enemies pretty trivial. And of course, we need to have early morph in these seeds, so Morph Ball is in the ceiling where that E-Tank normally is. So Scotty having a little bit of trouble, does manage to pick it up though. That's going to give Kishmo an early lead. They do find a Power Bomb pack already next to that Morph Ball, and a Missile pack. So no hunt for early Power Bombs this time. Possibly a hunt for that first Super Pack, but that remains to be seen. And once again, both of the runners skipping that Billy Mays location. Again, could be that first Super Pack, but it's been pretty unlikely. I think there's only been a couple of seeds that were like that. But either way, there is a Super Pack right here to the left of the Morph Ball pedestal. So they are good with ammo for now. They don't need to hunt for anything. They can just proceed like normal. And it looks like neither of them are choosing to do the meme route, going through the rest of Blue Brinstar into Green Hills. And Kishmo finding a Super Pack underneath Old Mother Brain. After that last seed with how little supers we found, I'm sure he's glad to see that. Scotty actually choosing to skip over that spot, so he's gonna get a little bit of a lead on Kishmo now, although he does have less ammo. Alright, coming up to BT now. We were blessed with a BT fight in the last seed, but we are not so lucky this time. We are just going to get the grapple beam, and we're going to run right out the door from where we came. Grapple beam is pretty nice to see early. It's going to make that X-ray check pretty easy, being able to do it the intended way. It's going to give easy access into wreck ship over the moat in West Ocean, being able to grapple across. And also, we might see them use it for farming later on when they get to Lower Norfair especially. And finally getting our first E-Tank. Never want to turn those down early. But yeah, they following pretty much the same path so far, aside from Kishmo picking up that extra super pack. And they'll be heading into Green Brinstar shortly. We'll get to see a few more major items. Oh god, Scotty did a moonfall there, but he went a little too far and fell down a little. But he's back up now. That'll give Kishmo the lead once again. And look at that wave beam behind, or at the Brinstar Reserve. So, Plasma and Wave already this early. That's a very powerful beam combo. If they manage to find charge, it is almost as good as the full beam combo with Ice. Ice does not contribute a whole lot damage-wise. But again, they're just going to be able to really shred through the enemies, as we saw Kishmo just do. Wave Beam also makes getting that Wave Gate a lot easier in Big Pink, rather than having to use a Super Missile. Check that major item, they can just shoot their beam at it. That is if they remember they have Wave. Both of them already at 20 super, Scotty at 25 now, so it seems the seed has been a bit more generous this time in that regard. And it looks like Kishmo got another energy tank at the Edakun's area. So not really anything for progression yet, but we have seen some nice items. So I like what we're seeing so far. I guess Grapple may point them towards Rex ship, although not necessarily required. Cross, since CWJ is something that could potentially be required. But anyways, going through Big Pink now, finding more supers. And Kishmo is going to be heading into the Wave Gate room. Let's see if he remembers he has Wave Beam. He does remember. And just shoot that gate open with a regular beam shot. And it is X-ray scope. And it's a good idea to pick it up now. With Plasma Beam, the only thing they're missing for that microwave combo is charge. So that'll make a number of the boss fights a lot easier if they manage to find it before then. Aside from microwave, X-ray also has small benefits in some areas. It can let you check certain items without having to use a power bomb or something to open up the orbs, like at Wreck Ship Reserve or the Sandpit item. And Spacer Beam was at charge, and since they already have Plasma, not much of a reason to pick that up. Unless maybe you want it for like Suitless Meridia stuff to help freeze the enemies without killing them. But these runners they're pretty experienced. They're probably not worried about something like that. And Scotty picks up the Spacer anyways. What a guy. You know, he's probably going for Beam Go, so I don't really blame him. Ooh, and Kishmo actually went up Red Tower. Did not check X-ray, which both the runners have pretty easy access to again with that grapple beam. And Scotty is going down, at least to check X-ray for now. I mentioned this in the last game, but not only is X-ray a good check when you have like something like Space Jump or Grapple, but just being able to farm these Fire Fleas for power bombs can be great early on when you just have that one pack and you don't have regular bombs to help out. Another good power bomb refill spot is these zeros that Kishmo just farmed. Those, like the Fire Fleas, are like pretty much 100% guaranteed. But Scotty just finding a reserve tank at X-ray. Not something he's interested in picking up at this time, so he's just going to work his way back now. Now we'll see, what's Scotty gonna do? He's gonna keep going down, so last game didn't really have too much route divergence until they finished up parts of Upper Norfair. Little divergence at Croc, but this time the runners are going in complete different directions, so could be interesting. Alright, Kishmo gets across the moat and West Ocean without too much difficulty. Scotty found another energy tank at Spacer. It seems Kishmo is going to be the first one to enter a boss fight. He will be taking on Phantoon with no suits, 2 energy tanks. It's not a free fight by any means. Phantoon will do 40 damage, both with his body and with the flames, without any suits. So Kish will have to be a little bit careful to try to not get hit a ton. But again, he's familiar with the new route fight, which does this with less equipment, so he should be okay. Yeah, luckily this beam combo too, the wave and plasma, is going to help him clear out the flames pretty easily. Flame control's pretty huge in this fight, being able to shoot them quickly. It's going to take extra damage. And Scotty getting that quick kill again, 2 for 2 today. And oh my goodness, it's Gravity Suit behind Kraid. That is great news for Scotty. With Gravity Suit, he's going to be able to traverse through water, lava, and acid freely. Does not have that heat protection though without Varia. And can't really get too far in Meridia without ice or speed unless he does something crazy like a crystal flash clip. But I'm sure Scotty is definitely glad to see that, knowing that his league run is on the line with this game, and finds an energy tank at the Kraid tank location. So Scotty now actually has pretty easy access to the Mama Turtle item in Meridia if he wants to go and check that, although that's sort of an uncommon thing to do. It's a little out of his way now. But it looks like he's going to keep going down into Norfair and probably check the business center items before deciding what to do next. The logic in here is probably more similar to the hard mode in the combo randomizer. There's a lot of sort of minor glitches that can be required, including things like doing Lava Dive or doing Suitless Meridia or doing Hell Runs. Scotty just finding a reserve tank at high jump boots. I didn't see what Kish found at the right side supers. It looks like it's a reserve tank based on Siberian's messages. Scotty taking off his spacer now. Fortunately, his plasma got replaced with spacer when he picked it up, so you have to actually pause your game to put it back on. So Scotty will be checking ice now, and Kishmo will show us what's at the wreck ship energy tank. Again, without Varia suit, a change for this randomizer is you'll actually take heat damage, even with gravity suit if you don't have Varia. So Scotty's gonna have to be mindful of his energy if he wants to continue going through Norfair, as a lot of those rooms over in the Bubble Mountain area are heated. And Scotty finds Spring Ball, which is an excellent item. It's going to come in handy in a lot of places for him, helping him out a lot in the morph tunnels. You can also utilize the Spring Ball jump in order to reach some places you normally can't. And it looks like Scotty is going to head back up. And with that gravity suit, again, he's going to be able to freely move in water. So I'm guessing he's going to check Mama Turtle before he goes and does anything further. Now, even if Mama Turtle isn't something that will help him in Norfair or go through the rest of Meridia, this is a good way to get back up to Rex ship if that's where he wants to go next. Also available is the Sandpit item. You do not need to get past Batoon to check that one, although it is a bit out of the way. But it is an option for him. Ooh, and it's Screw Attack. That is an interesting find. Screw Attack, obviously, it's a very powerful item. Allows you to pretty much decimate every item in the game just by spin jumping at it. It is especially helpful in lower Norfair where the enemies pack a punch. But Scotty does have plasma, so it looks like he's going to skip out on it, and he probably doesn't feel too bad about it, since a lot of those enemies will be trivial with his beam combo right now. And it looks like Kishmo is having a little trouble doing those mid-air morphs to get over those pillars. But he manages to get out of there. Nice grapple jumping from Scotty. Kind of hard with gravity on, but does a good job. But yeah, like I said, he's going to take sort of the shortcut through Meridia to get back up to Red Tower, and then presumably into Rex ship. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe he just wants to check the minor items. And okay, he's just going to refill power bombs. See, that's a really good call. Without any regular bombs, it's kind of tough to check all the wrecked ship items since there's a lot of bomb blocks. So that was a really heads-up play, going down and refilling on his power bombs there. I didn't see what was at wreck ship reserve. I'm gonna assume it's nothing good since no one said anything. and an E-tank at gravity suit location, so seems like a pretty whack ship to me. So unfortunately for Scotty, coming back up to wreck ship now isn't going to really do him much good. And Kishmo should be able to find his gravity suit pretty quickly, as it was pretty accessible behind Kraid. But the one benefit for Scotty is with that gravity suit, a mistake like that is not very costly since he can just freely jump up out of the water. And it'll make checking that wreck ship E-tank item pretty easy too. You won't have to do like a bomb jump or anything. Alright, so now they're pretty much going to be following each other's footsteps for a little bit. Scotty will have a little bit easier of a time doing these wreck ship checks, as well as the Phantoon fight will be a bit easier. It's got more energy in that gravity suit, which will give him some damage reduction. Kish has got to be careful. He took a spike hit already. These spikes do a lot of damage without suits, but he does have the grapple, so as long as he keeps himself tethered to the grapple blocks, he'll be okay. Yeah, Gauntlet is not something we've seen yet. They do not have any means to get back from Gauntlet. They could go check it, but unless they get extremely lucky on the waiver drops, or Gauntlet is like bombs or speed booster or something, they don't have a way out of there. Screw Attack would actually allow them to get back, and we know where that is. But Scotty did not pick it up, so he won't have the option to get back from there. Yeah, it wouldn't be unheard of if they took like a save at the ship and then checked it just to see what it was, just for the knowledge, even if they can't get out. Like if they knew it was like charge beam or ice or something, they wouldn't have to worry about getting ammo or getting power bombs for the Metroids. Though I don't think it's kind of uncommon. People don't really like to do that if they can't get out of there. Well, Screw Attack, with Plasma, a lot of its uses are kind of overshadowed. It really pays off in lower Norfair with the enemies, but with Plasma you can effectively kind of do the same thing. Screw Attack can also help breaking blocks in a few places, like with Gauntlet for example, they'd be able to check it and make it back. So yeah, a lot of people, especially late in the game, they won't get it if they're like past lower Norfair already and have the means to break blocks with like power bombs and regular bombs. But really, Scotty, he tried to get it, but he was just having trouble finding the grapple block without high jump boots. It's kind of hard to grapple the block that it sits on. But actually, he kind of did a a midair spring ball jump off of one of the walls if you did a wall jump, but I don't think many people know about that. Yeah, we had a really nasty seed, I think like a week ago, where it was like ice was at Gauntlet, and you needed to like go into Suitless Meridia to get like the power bombs in order to get to Gauntlet, because they only had like one pack until then. But it can definitely happen in this logic where you need to find some kind of item to get you into Gauntlet, which leads to progression. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Tracy and Dirksu, I want to say. I would definitely check that race out if you like the trolley seeds. That was maybe the trolliest one we've had over the whole 18 weeks. Alright, well, Scotty is about to finish checking all the wreck ship items, and Kishmo about to finish the business center item. So now we're sort of caught up. They've all checked the same items now. And so now they'll kind of have to decide where they want to go from here. Kishmo still has Mama Turtle that he hasn't seen, so he could be tempted to go and check that out. Although he's probably a lot less tempted than Scotty was, since he already did wreck ship and doesn't really need to go up there again. So I would think Kishmo is just gonna go try to do the hell runs, although his health is pretty low right now. He's not going to be able to complete the cathedral hell runs right now. So maybe he will go check Mama Turtle, actually. Either that, or he'll just refill at the bugs or the refill station before going down. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna head into Meridia. And like I mentioned earlier, Sandpit is still open, although it is a little out of the way if you can't continue on to Batun and Dragon. Oh yeah, that's right, Shack Tool is also open since they have Grapple. So yeah, they, with Gravity Suit and Grapple, they can actually get over to that area. Like the Sandpit, it's a little out of the way, so typically people won't go there. But you know, they're kind of running out of options. It's either these Meridia checks or do hell runs. And Kishmo is having the same trouble Scotty was, trying to blind grapple this block. I don't think he's even seen the item yet. There, he's got it now. So Kishmo, yeah, looks like he's going to pick up that screw attack. And he'll check the miner over here. And some missile pack. How many supers they found so far? They probably don't care about charge beam at all. I mean, there's still so many minor item locations along the way that they can check. I would be surprised if they didn't find like 60 supers by the time they're done with the Norfair area. Yeah, that's a good question, Church. I feel like they should be able to with the spring ball jump, even if it's like you have to do it out of the sand. But I don't doubt these guys can do it either way. So if it's something they really wanted to do, they would do it. And it looks like Kishmo is gonna go check the sandpit item. And it'd also be a pretty convenient time for him to go check Shack Tool if he wanted to, since it lets out in that hallway that leads to Shack Tool. Meanwhile, Scotty has been deep in hell runs now. He's farming up right now at that bug refill station. And we'll get to start seeing some of these Bubble Mountain items. Oh god, he went to Mock Ball there and just fell through. And wow, there is Charge Beam again. 2 seeds in a row. X-Ray showing off kind of its niche use there, being able to scout out the items without wasting power bombs. I swear, like, Charge is... very often it's in that spot. Maybe that's just confirmation bias, but I feel like I see it there all the time. Alright, Sky only found an E-tank at the speed booster item. So, you know, not something he's looking for, but an energy refill is pretty nice when you're doing these hell runs. Yeah, Kish, without high jump boots, without space jump too, this part's kind of a pain. But it looks like he's going to be trying to do a spring ball jump to get up into that little block, open block. Yeah, it should be possible, but it'll be tricky. If it were me, I'd probably try to do the wall jump to get up there. I feel like that'd be easier. It's really a pain trying to both pause and like stay jumping enough so you don't get pulled into the sand and you can actually get enough height. I didn't see what Scotty got at Wave. Probably wasn't an E-tank, because he's pretty low on health right now. Maybe... okay, it looks like it was a reserve. So, he has not checked the Norfair Reserve yet, but with this health, good idea that he's not. So, he might go back up there after this refill, or maybe even try Croc again. Can you flatly there without high jump though? Oh, nice, he gets it. But yeah, gravity suit is also an option there, but it's kind of a similar thing where it's tough trying to pause while you're doing the jumps. But he gets it, so nice job, Kish. That's not easy. And we will get to see what's behind Shack Tool. While Scotty is now refilled, he can head over and check that Norfair Reserve and finds a power bomb pack, which is pretty nice. They don't have regular bombs, so Scotty will have to worry about his power bomb count a little less now. And speed booster, that, and another power bomb pack too. So now Scotty can crystal flash. He's not going to be worried about finding ice as much. And with that speed booster, he has access into Meridia, the deeper parts of Meridia, I should say, where Batoon and Dragon lie. So that's pretty huge for Scotty. And Kish only finding that E-Tank at Shack Tool. So unfortunately, that's going to cost him quite a bit of time going to do this check. And Scotty can just go right into Meridia now and hunt down his next progression item. Really, at this point, Scotty needs Varia Suit, and he's good to go. Also, he needs the ammo, but like I said, there's a lot of minor items along the way for them still, so I'd be shocked if they didn't find enough ammo. Yeah, so at this point, we've seen all of Wreck's ship. We've seen all of Upper Norfair minus Croc. We've seen a lot of the Meridia stuff, so Varia is either going to be at Waterway, Croc, or somewhere deep in Meridia that they have not had access to yet without that speed booster. Cannot be at Gauntlet. Suits are not allowed to be in criteria in this logic. So Scotty's looking like in a pretty good position to find his various suit. I think he has fairly decent odds of finding it in Meridia. Speed booster was at Norfair Reserve. And with coming in the fight with 50 supers, Scotty doesn't even care. He's just firing them at will. Gets through the fight. Now we get to see what is behind Batoon. Just an E-Tank. Oh, and you know, I don't think Scotty is gonna... I don't think he's gonna worry about ammo, because assuming he doesn't find Varia behind Dragon, he's probably naturally gonna check the sandpit first before checking Plasma, which is where the charge beam is at. I mean, Varia could be behind Dragon for all we know, so maybe he actually won't see that. Well, you know, he should still check it though, because Lower Norfair would be next after that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Scotty's gonna find charge. Punk in the first race, unfortunately Scotty took a few deaths, and that set him back quite a bit. And Kishmo managed to win by quite a bit. But it's looking a lot more in Scotty's favor this time for sure. Yeah, he had a very nice first try high jumpless lava dive, but then ended up dying in amphitheater. And then he came back later with high jump and then died to Ridley, unfortunately. Dragon looks about dead for Scotty. Should just need one more well-placed spark. Doing a good job of keeping Dragon away after getting gooed. Ooh. That was a goop spark there. Not what he wanted. Finishes her off with ammo. Probably gonna go for a spike suit. Does not get it though. Now let's see what's behind Dre. Just an E-tank. So, what I would think Scotty's gonna do is he is gonna be on the hunt for Varia. And his last Meridia checks are the Sandpit and Plasma. And it makes a lot of sense to do Sandpit first since that's a one-way street, so to speak. So he should come across the charge beam. From there, he has a nice path leading up to Plasma. And if Varia is not there, it's either going to be Waterway or Croc for him. And seeing as he has Speed Booster already, not going to be an issue checking either of those things. Oh yeah, he did not check Shack Tool as well, only Kishmo has checked Shack Tool. So that's something he can do along with the Plasma check. Gauntlet has not been checked yet. They did not have a good way to get to Gauntlet when they were in the area. Yeah, that is correct. Really, the only important thing it could be at this point is high jump or ice, but neither going to be necessary for these guys. So Kishmo's about to come across 2 power bomb packs. Scotty is not in the left sand pit, he is in the right sand pit. If he finds Varia at Plasma, he might not find charge, but 10 missiles, 50 super missiles, he's probably gonna be okay. And Scotty is going for that flatly jump, so I guess it does work without high jump here if you have gravity. It's good to know. And he's going to show off that gravity jump method. Got to see Kish use the spring ball jump. Both methods pretty dumb. Yeah, Punk brings up a good point. They do have X-rays, so not only are there 2 dumb ways to do this, but there's actually 3. But if you're pretty good at X-ray climbing, it probably won't take very long. And really unfortunate for Scotty that he didn't get in the left sand pit, because I feel like he would have checked Plasma first if he did. But, you know, gotta work with what you got. Looks like he's going for that flatly again. Oh, okay. It looks like he's trying the spring ball jump now. I want to say it's easier to do the spring ball jump, just because trying to like move around suitless in the water mid-gravity jump is like a huge pain. I feel like you'd have much easier control with the spring ball. But yeah. This is giving Kishmo a lot of time to catch up. Yeah, I mentioned that too, Punk. I would probably try to do this out of the wall jump. So it's a real pain trying to jump out of the sand and get enough height. Oh, see, yeah, like he's like trying to wiggle in there. It's a mess without a suit. Oh, and yeah, Kish, he already has charge, so he actually got to do the X-ray on Dragon. Neat. Probably did on Batuin too, but I didn't notice. So at this point, if Scotty doesn't bail on this soon, him and Kishmo are going to be pretty much neck and neck, although Kishmo does have the charge beam, so Scotty will still have to find some ammo if he doesn't make his way to Sandpit again. Yep, and Kishmo, having already checked Sandpit and Shack Tool, he can just head right to Plasma. And we're getting down to the wire here on where Varia can be. It's either going to be here, Waterway, or Croc. Both Screw Attack and Plasma. It's not really using Plasma Beam, but Screw Attack helps a lot with these pirates. And we just have bombs at Plasma. Not what we want to see. So it's either Waterway or Croc. It's got to be one of the two. Well, the first game, Croc had Spring Ball and Gravity. Maybe this game it'll have Varia and Ice. That would be pretty crazy. Stacked Croc in both seats. Oh, is Oh, my Sky's going for the X-ray climb now. He is really committed to getting Shack Tool now. I think that, yeah, that one looked good. Alright, so fun. We get to talk about X-ray climbing a little bit. So by jumping through a door in a certain way, you can catch yourself in the closing door behind you. And if you're standing up like Scotty was, you can actually do this trick called X-ray climbing. If you're crouched while X-raying and turn around, if you turn off the X-ray during the turnaround animation, it actually forces Samus to stand up. And as a result of being stuck in this door, you actually get pushed up a little bit each time you do this. So even though it looks like Scotty is in the same room and kind of just like moving around on the screen, he's actually moving up to the upper part of the room above the grapple block. And you can see it on his mini-map where he's at right now. So eventually, when he gets high enough, he can actually come outside of the wall and be able to proceed to Shack Tool like you normally would. There are a few places you can do this and remain in bounds, so this is a perfectly legitimate way to traverse without breaking any rules. So it may look like he's, you know, nowhere to be seen, but he's actually totally in bounds right now. Looks like, I think that was an E-tank at Waterway, and it seems Kish actually saved at the tube. So that's a pretty good idea actually. Now he doesn't have to run all the way back here and can just go right to Croc. So now we know without a doubt that Various Suit is hidden behind Croc, so, well, either behind Croc or at the grapple location. Either way, we gotta kill Croc. So stacked Croc 2 seeds in a row. And who knows what the other item is. It could be something really nice. Scotty he should be pretty close to being done. I think he has to be kind of careful though. I remember I soft locked doing this once because I had like jumped out too early. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, so the camera's not scrolling right now, but he's actually, if you look at the mini map, oh, okay, the camera will. Oh. Oh, dang. That sucks. He fell all the way to the bottom and has to actually turn his gravity suit back on to get up there now. He got kind of stuck in the water. But he was actually at the top of the room there. And because he fell, the camera started scrolling like normally. There it is. There is our Various Suit. Hidden behind Crocmire. I do not think Kish is gonna continue deeper into Croc's lair to the grapple item. I suspect he's just gonna go right to Ridley now. So we may never know what is lying down there unless we watch the credits, then we'll probably figure it out. Scotty is it's really taking his time. I feel like Croc, or not Croc, I feel like Shacktool's gotta be done digging by now. He is not forfeited, so yeah, Shack he was halfway across the room there, so he was done for a while. Just an E-tank. And that's gotta feel bad for Scotty. He put a lot of time into getting there. Yeah, he's not happy with Shaq. So now for Scotty, he has Plasma, Sandpit, Waterway, and Crocmire left to check. If he can just go right to Croc right now, that'd be best case scenario, as everything else was pretty much junk. But Kish does have a considerable lead at this point. Looks like he's gonna go up to Plasma first. And it looks like Kishmo did a gravity jump to get up the lava pit. Did not put gravity back on, which maybe he forgot. I forget that a lot, but he'll probably remember once he. Oh, okay, he remembers now. Good job, Kish. And once again, speed booster with no high jump. It's not fun to move around. So you'll see his jump height is going to be reduced in a lot of areas. And Kish does have bombs, but he is going to just go for the spring ball, mid-air spring ball jump instead. It's probably faster to do the spring ball jump if you don't do the double bomb jumps. Single bomb jumps are pretty slow. But fortunately for Kish, even though his movement's pretty janky right now without the high jump boots, that Plasma and Screw attack are gonna help him out a lot, the enemies. It looks like Scotty is going to go check the sand pit again. Hopefully the left one this time. So he should get his charge beam, and then he is running out of checks for Varia. Hopefully we'll make his way over to Croc soon. Yep, there he goes. In charge beam now. Kish is about to head to the Ridley fight. He's got Charge Wave Plasma. That's going to be 24 charge shots total. Of course, supers are the most effective tool against Ridley. 30 super missiles will also do the trick. So we might see a mixture of the two. Looks like he's going to start off with charge shots. Alright, Ridley should be about dead. A few more. He looks dead now. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that is all the bosses for Kishmo. He has been in go mode since that Barrier pickup. No Ice Beam, so he's gonna have to power bomb the Metroids unless he can find Ice Beam on his way to Torian. And also we'll need to do the speed Zeb skip if he does not want to use his ammo. Although with 45 supers, I think he can afford to do to kill the Zebs. We've seen X-Ray already. I think it was a reserve tank. We have not seen the grapple item, and we have not seen Gauntlet, so it is one of the two, if not a Firefleet E-tank. Oh, I guess Kish didn't check Screw Attack either. It could be there as well. But most of those checks are, aside from Firefleet, are too far out of the way to really be worth it. And Scotty is walking the croc. Good lord. Yeah, you're not supposed to have grapple beam when you fight crocs, so weird things can happen. I think that was an E-tank at Firefleet. I was too busy watching Croc. Oh, it was Space Jump. Okay. That's good for Kishmo. It kind of sucks using it without high jump, but you know, it's better than not having it, unless you're John. And Scotty is not gonna check the grapple item, so let's find out later where or what that item was. Yeah, plasma was bombs. Oh, Kish never checked wave. When he finds a reserve tank, says no thank you. Alright, Scotty with the nice fast pillars, even without that high jump, making it work. Worst room in the game again. Gonna have to either bomb jump or do that mid-air spring ball jump, or do the wall jump if you're insane. It is possible to wall jump without high jump, but it's extremely precise. And Kishmo taking that shortcut through Meridia. He will shortly be at Criteria. Doesn't need to refill the ship. He's got 12 power bombs already. I guess maybe if he wanted to be safe and save some health, he could do it, but sometimes you lose a lot of health from the Metroids if you group them and power bomb them, but he should be okay with this amount. Oh, and Kishmo is gonna check Gauntlet actually. He's gotta just be hoping it's ice, just to make his Torian a little more comfortable when he's used to. Gonna go on a limb and say he's not really happy about that pickup. Sort of reluctantly grabs the E-tank. But nevertheless, he'll still make his way to Torian. He did use a power bomb though to get through Gauntlet, so if he needs to get at least one drop in the first 3 rooms, or he will have to go back and refill. Although he only needs 1, so pretty likely that he'll get it. I like that from Kish. He's actually bombed the Metroids off. They didn't do as much damage. But you know, he's probably gonna have to refill anyways because I don't really see him getting baby skip with no high jump and with speed. Also, screw attack can actually negate some of the damage if you just screw attack while the Metroids are attached. It'll take quite a bit less damage overall. But either way, he's getting through the rooms fine. Scotty done with Ridley now. So he's finished with all the bosses. He can just go to Torian as well. Looks like he'll probably refill the ship though, if he doesn't farm a lot of power bombs here. He is pretty low. Probably get a few more at Firefly as well. Kish does not have enough power bombs. Yeah, I wasn't really watching, but I'm guessing he needed an extra power bomb on some of the Metroids. Maybe he didn't get the drop either. That would make sense if he didn't get a drop, and then also did 4 in one of the rooms. That's a bummer for Kish. He's got some choices though. He can either try to farm the Kagos to the left here, and look at that, he's gonna do it. Let's go. These guys have an okay chance of dropping a power bomb. Oh look, he got 2 of them right there. He's farming again. But you can either try these guys with their, kind of okay rate of dropping power bombs. There's also the B-toms at the top of this room Kish is in. You need a power bomb to reach them, but you get 2 power bombs out of it, so you net 1. And also just going back to the ship and refilling to max out is another option. But he got some pretty good luck with the Kagos. Ooh, and Scotty microwaving those key hunters. It's not just bosses, but you can also use it on enemies too. Alright. Kish now in the last room's got 4 power bombs, even if one of them doesn't hit, he should be okay. All I needed was 3. So with his current ammo, he can pretty comfortably super all of the Zebs. Doesn't need to do the Zeb Spark, although I'm sure he'll at least give it a try, if not more. But like I said, baby skip, probably not going to happen with this loadout. So he's going to damage himself down to try to speed up this little baby cutscene. He'll have a lot of ammo from Mother Brain 1, so not worried about soft locking at all. Mother Brain 2, like Ridley, is going to be 24 charge shots, so that should be pretty trivial, especially given how much energy he's going to have. So not too worried about Kishmo at this point. Yep, and there's Kishmo setting up for the Zeb Spark. It's a pretty tight short charge. You can do a stutter 2, and like barely make it, but most people do like a stutter 3. But he doesn't get it, so like I said, he has so much ammo right now, he can just super these Zebs and have a lot of leftover supers for Mother Brain 1. Also, Kish has enough energy tanks to do stand-up. So assuming he doesn't take a lot of damage here, he'll also be able to save some time getting some early shots in on Mother Brain 3. Yeah, Scotty will take that refill at the ship. Shouldn't have any trouble getting through the Metroid rooms in one sweep. Won't have any ammo issues. And he also has 7 E-tanks, so stand-up is on the table for him as well. Beautiful spring ball jumping through the parlor there. And just like that, Kishmo is done with his Mother Brain 2 fight, decides not to do stand-up. Little does he know, though, that's okay because he's got quite a lead on Scotty right now. And so long as he survives Mother Brain 3 and manages to escape the planet in 3 minutes game time, he should come out on top of this race. Alright, Scotty. All the Metroids down with 3 power bombs to spare. He could do a 5th room if he wanted to, but there's only 4, so that's fine. And he won't be able to get the baby skip either, so we'll see him refill. Kishmo right about to finish Mother Brain 3. Nice D-boost off of the meatball. Totally unnecessary, just for swag. That was interesting. Scotty laying a power bomb before getting grabbed. Actually took out some of the vines or the brambles, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful spring ball jumps across that room from Scotty. You know what? He may not be the winner of the game, but he's the winner of my heart. Alright, Kishmo. 2 minutes to get on the ship. And he makes it. Kishmo not done in SRL with a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, 19 seconds. Good game to Kishmo, and with that, he wins game 2, and he will win the match against Scotty. So Kishmo will move on to the quarterfinals of the Randomizer League, and Scotty, unfortunately, is now out. But great run for Scotty, even just making it to the playoffs. We had 60-something players at the start of the season. He is one of the lucky few that could qualify for the playoffs here. And Scotty is going to forfeit as well, conceding defeat. Yeah, good game for Scotty. Really unfortunate that it just didn't pay off for him doing the Shack Tool check. Definitely consumed a lot of time. But yeah. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow these runners. There's Kishmo on Twitch and SCOTTY6. Some of the best as far as Super Metroid Randomizer. being able to make it this far in the league. And again, shoutouts to Siberian, who has been tracking for us for both games, and it's been very helpful for us keeping track of everything. Let me pull up the schedule, or not the schedule, the brackets. So I can figure out who's next. Okay, so with Kishmo, he's got a lot of different names. Kishmo moving on to the quarterfinals. He is going to face the winner of Aussie 101 and Lenifis. They have already played one game. Aussie took game 1, and we will see game 2, I believe at 6 p.m., I think I said earlier. So we'll find out that quarterfinal matchup today, I believe. Yeah, that's the only round of 16 match that has been completed so far. And apparently Ace was at Screw. I was not watching, but... Well, probably... I want to say probably wouldn't have been worth the time to go and get it, so... It's a bummer. Anyways, I'm not sure if anyone's going to come in for an interview. I don't think so. But in the meantime, let me look over the schedule one more time. So yes, at 6 p.m., we will have Game 2 between Aussie and Lenifis. 6 p.m. Eastern, that is. And then, if necessary, they will do their Game 3 at 8 p.m., or maybe even just like right after. Oh, well, there's another match at 8 p.m. between Rumblements and Rasu, so if a Game 3 is required for Aussie and Lenifis, they'll probably just combine that into a 4-way. So hopefully we'll see that. That'd be cool. A Rumble and Rasu are in Game 2. Rumble having won Game 1, so we'll see a little more progress in the bracket today. Oh, I see Kishmo in chat. Good game, Kish. Well done. Congratulations on moving on to the next round. But yeah, make sure check out that SMRL command. It's got the bracket and schedule on there. Yeah, we'll have some more matches later on today, and also throughout the week there'll be some more. And we should be wrapping up this season pretty soon here, getting down to the final runners. But I think that's about all I have to say. So once again, make sure follow the runners, SCOTTY6 and Kishmo, if you liked watching them race today. They play a lot of Super Metroid. Shoutouts to Siberian again for handling the tracking for us. Yeah, keep an eye on the schedule. There'll be a lot more exciting matches to come. And with that, I'll be signing off. So I'll see you guys later, and we'll see you next mission.